Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Morning Brew with
Kiki
and Lake.
We're at the horse farm this morning because Ella has training today. So we're coming from our car, from the Witchmobile.
From the Subaru.
But can we just hop right into why we're here today?
Yep.
All right. Okay. Last night's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Reunion Part 1.
This may be a two-parter video, though.
It could be. I have a lot to say, as usual.
So just stick with us.
Right. So I want to start off by saying which side of the couch we are in support of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That would be the...
Right,
if you're looking at your TV.
Yep.
The Erica, Bose, Dorit. We're going to say what we want to say. We don't give a bleep side.
Yep, that's our side.
I love those ladies.
Me too.
We all know we kind of have a little personal connection to Erica Jane.
Yep.
Love Dorit. Didn't always love Dorit.
No, but she's pulling out her Connecticut side.
Yeah, she's pulling out the Connecticut side. She's smoking butts.
Yep, she's doing all.
She's using the F-bombs nonstop. She doesn't care about literally anything. And I love that. And Bose, she's just the epitome of a really strong boss woman. And I think that she's very straightforward and honest. I don't think that she's like a, a poser or pretend. Like she's a real woman.
Yeah, and we like that. Remember? Because you either need to tell it how it is, or you don't.
Right.
So
let's talk about the outfits.
Okay.
Whose did you like the best?
I liked Dorit's, and I did like Kyle's.
Yeah,
but
Kyle's was different. Kyle's was very, very different.
Did not like Garcelle's. Don't know what that dress was, and I don't know why she had the Michael Jackson gloves on.
That was weird.
I didn't like that.
I mean, the beadwork was gorgeous, but I just didn't really care for the dress. Let's not even get into something in her old lady look every single time she's involved with anything. I'm surprised she didn't have a freaking cat on it.
And Bose suits her.
Yeah, Bose. This is the thing about Bose. This is the thing, because I do a lot of reading online. People are constantly making fun of her earrings. She is from Ghana. Oh. She's from Ghana, and the earrings are very representative of her culture. So that's why she wears the big earrings. And then last night she was representing her culture again with, her I don't know the proper name for it, but her head wrap. Yeah. So, Erica killing it. I mean, the woman, just killing it.
Doesn't matter what she wears.
Dorit, she had a classic
sleek white.
Yeah.
But, so overall, outfits were okay.
Yeah, just two of them that I didn't really care for that happened to coincide with the two people from the show that I don't tend to care for that much.
Yeah. Which is really a shame because I really had high hopes for Garcelle.
Yeah,
I really did.
I felt really bad for her. That the first season when she was on and Kyle did that whole you didn't pay, for the charity thing.
Yeah,
I didn't like that. I thought that was not something that should have been addressed in public. That's just a humiliation thing. But now we have Garcelle just humiliating Kyle and trying to force her to come out and say that, she's a lesbian and whatever. And it's just getting a little ridiculous that Garcelle cares that.
Well, I feel like Garcelle really just, I don't know. She says that she's asking questions that no one else will, but you're kind of just invading.
Yes.
If you're not coming from a true heart of, wanting to know as a friend and you're just asking for the show or to get an answer, that's just not nice.
Yeah, we'll get back on that.
Okay.
So anyway, so the show starts off with them addressing the PK issue with him saying that Dorit's misrepresenting him, and then Kyle sticking up for him saying, well, you're saying that he's an alcoholic, which Dorit's but he's claimed it publicly. And you know what? If Dorit wants to say that her husband is an alcoholic that she's with and he's saying he's sober, well, normally if you're sober, it's because you're an alcoholic, right?
Yeah.
Or you're choosing a healthier lifestyle. But in this case, I believe that, yes, we were always seeing PK with a drink in his hand, that he's an alcoholic. So I don't think it's unfair, to say that. And then saying that he was a monster.
I mean,
I don't know.
How do you know if you're not behind those closed doors?
Again, her husband.
How does Kyle know? Or saying that Dorit doesn't know this, or she's making it up. She's behind closed doors with them? No. So you really can't really say anything like that.
Right. And I don't like Kyle playing dumb with these text messages. Like, that Dorit doesn't have like a reason to be upset. Let me tell you something. If my friend was, texting my husband,
I like that.
I wouldn't like that either. Like, if you're my friend, you're my friend. Well, that's also goes back to being a Jersey girl.
Well,
okay?
Yeah.
If you're my friend and somebody's doing you wrong, even if they didn't do me wrong, they did my friend wrong, so I'm not going to like them.
Loyalty.
Yeah, that's a big time.
Also, forgot. Train of thought.
That's because Carol just walked by. She's so nice. Hi, Carol. So anyway, and then Sutton butting into the whole thing with the forensic lawyer, and you need to be careful, and I'm an all-woman's woman. Dorit put her in her place with that.
Thank God, because no, you're not a woman's woman.
And but what
sisterhood, screw off.
What about Sutton saying last night, is his name on the mortgage? Is his name on the mortgage? What about her saying that? And Dorit saying, I'm not going to discuss. I wish she had the smoke then.
Yeah.
I'm not going to discuss that with you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, not her business.
Why does Sutton know if his name is on the mortgage? Because she does all of this crazy research.
Or she's saying that she knows this person that knows that thing and this thing. I don't like it. Oh, I do remember now. If they actually did send the text or get a text, they pull that up. They pull that shit up right away. Mm-hmm. So if there wasn't something to pull up, that's why they didn't show it. Remember, Garcelle, play the tape. Okay, they did play the tape. And you did say that about the whole PK thing. So...
Well, she didn't actually say PK, but
someone did.
We definitely knew that's what she meant.
Alluding to.
She definitely meant that.
Yeah.
We may have a more than two-parter today. But so that's what happened in the introduction. And if Sutton's making believe she's a girl's girl and that's why she's trying to help Dorit, no. If she's finding out information, it's because she wants to use it against her. Yeah. That's the way it is. That's what she did to Erica Jane during this whole Girardi court case thing.
Yep.
I mean, she's just does not have pure intentions at all. At all. No. She's cuckoo, but that's for another day.
Yeah, she's a hard one.
Yeah. So then they went into Bose. Then they went into Bose, and they brought up Keeley.
Yep, they sure did.
And then Sutton, I was red flagging him.
Okay, well, where's your red flag, Sutton? You were married and divorced, and you haven't been able to hang on to a date or anything. Like, so where's your red flag? I'm red flagging her.
I don't know.
Leave Bose alone. Okay, she wants to put her life out on the line, have that baby with him. Go ahead.
Right, and then Garcelle saying that Bose is Dorit's mouthpiece.
Which is laughable. What has she been doing with Sutton the whole time?
So hypocritical.
She's been doing that with Sutton the whole time. Like, Sutton can't say anything because Garcelle's going to jump on it. So, I don't like that.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane. And then Garcelle just really talking in circles to Bose. Bose put her in her place every single time. And she kind of like threw the shade on when she was like, well, that's you being insecure with or you don't think very highly of yourself or whatever she said. But I'm Team Bose. Yep. I hope that she continues to stay, on the path of who she is because she is a really positive light and I like that.
Well, before we get into our next person, you guys are going to want to hop on to part 2 because we're already at our mark and we need to talk about more. So,
okay.
Head to part 2.
See ya.
We're back. So, welcome to part 2. If you have not seen part 1, make sure you go back to see that. We were in the middle of talking about, the Real Housewives reunion. We just got done talking about Bose. And now we're going to talk about Garcelle.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, who wants to start?
You.
Me. Okay.
You're going to start.
All right. So there was a lot that went on with Garcelle last night. a lot. First, she started talking about her issue with Kyle. So what I'm gathering is her issue with Kyle is that she's upset that Kyle isn't talking about what's going on with Morgan.
Yep.
Which is Kyle's personal relationship.
Yep.
It's not really any of our business, but I guess if you put yourself out in a public situation, it's supposed to become everybody's business.
And I will say, though, that Kyle did say to Garcelle, she's like, what do you mean I haven't shared any of my life? I've been on the show for 14 seasons. So,
yes.
Just because she doesn't want to release it to Garcelle doesn't mean that she has kept everything inside.
Absolutely. Okay. She has already dealt with her sister Kim and all of the chemical dependency.
Yep.
She has dealt, with like just her kids growing up and different things going on in their life.
Remember when American Woman came out? And
Kathy and the
was
big
upset.
family issue. She had then when Kathy went cuckoo when they were out in Colorado with whatever that whole situation
didn't go on.
Was, there was things about Marcia way back when they were on some island vacation with Lisa Vanderpump and like there was already stuff going on there. She got into it with Vanderpump and a lot of things that was the goodbye, Kyle. From Ken.
The memes on that one.
Gotten jiggy with that. But so that. So she has been very forthcoming and she's had her life pretty open. I think she avoids a lot of tough conversations.
But I think that's just her personality.
And I think I was telling you that I watched one from 2015 and it's when all the craziness was going on with Kim and Rinna broke the glass and said, don't come after the husband. Like all of that. I was going to like choke her. Rinna, oh my God, I miss Rinna so much. But, Kyle said that her mother raised them not to talk about their private family issues out in public. Yes. That it wasn't a good look and that, that was supposed to stay, behind the scenes and worked out in the family. So, I mean, that's how she was raised and that's how she still, I guess is living her life. I'm fine with her not saying what's going on with Morgan if there is something and she's comfortable with it, then let her do it.
When the time comes.
But for Garcelle to consistently be needling about it, and I do though have to say that when Garcelle was carrying on about it and once again looked for Sutton's response, her honest feelings about it, which we've all seen behind the scenes, Sutton once again would not get on the boat with Garcelle.
No, because it's a double standard friendship.
Right. And then she said, and what did you say about it, Sutton? And Sutton said, well, I was saying don't talk about Morgan and blah, blah, blah. And Garcelle said, that is not what you said.
Called her out.
And then she said, you said that was a chess move.
Yeah.
So I'm glad Garcelle did call Sutton out on that. She needs
to be called out a lot.
And then Sutton didn't respond, so that says a lot. Yeah. Deer in headlights moment for her.
Let's get to the funny part. What Erica said.
Oh, yeah. Last night, what Erica said was pretty funny.
What did she actually say?
Well, she said, I'm just wishing that you were more interesting.
Yeah, because what really about Garcelle do we know? Right. That is interesting.
It's true. She said, I want to know who you're
dating,
sleeping with, whatever.
Whatever she said. Which Garcelle, nobody. Not really.
Yeah, she didn't really
So
have...
how are you going to claim to Kyle that she's not sharing too much when what about you?
Yeah. I mean, I think that Erica was on point with that. So. She is kind of boring. Garcelle's storyline, I don't want to take it away from her.
I mean, she's done
the building things. Of the house and all of those things. Like, that's been amazing. That,
I'm not gonna lie, that did make me cry.
Yeah.
Like, watching her finally be able to do the house in Malibu, and she did it all on her own, and everything. She that great for her.
And the very raw moment of her talking about her son when he was really addicted to drugs, and she had to, not answer the door for him. That was a real moment. But I will say, there's a lot of people in America that has done that. If you look, you know what I mean? There has been I don't want to.
So
I don't want to diminish what she did because other people do it too. It was a real moment.
Yes. Okay, we will give it to her.
You know, she was.
But then what else?
I don't know.
What else?
I don't know. She and Sutton get together and start talking about everybody else.
Yep.
And
Sure do.
then when they get called mean girls, they're all offended by it. But they are mean girls.
Which, didn't someone say that to them last night?
Kyle called them mean girls
When they
last
get
night.
together, they're mean.
Because, you know, they showed the thing at Chuck E. Cheese when Garcelle, you know, was saying, like, if you want to be a lesbian, then be a lesbian, and laughed. And Kyle laughed along, but it was kind of, I think,
said
just
it was hurtful.
Yeah, it was just to avoid the subject, and it was hurtful. Yeah.
Whatever the case is.
But let's get into what really defines who Garcelle is as a person.
Okay, let's
And
get
it's
into it.
not her in a good light.
No.
By Garcelle saying that home invasion of Dorit's was orchestrated is horrendous.
Yeah.
That's horrendous.
That's something that you can think, but don't you ever say that out loud.
That woman had a gun held to her head.
She has suffered tremendously from when that has happened all the way through. And now it's ending with a divorce and her and her kids.
Because her husband poo-pooed it away. He took off for England how many more times?
And how many times did they did she have her counseling sessions and they said, have PK come, and he came and he got up and he had his temper tantrums, or said that she was making believe, or it's not so bad. Well, did he have a gun to his head when his children were in the house sleeping, scared for your life?
And then he showed up. Remember when he showed up after and he was crying at Kyle's house and, oh, baby, and all this.
No, it was all a story. It was all for
so
show.
I'm sorry, like, I just can't believe she
said
wrong,
that.
and Garcelle was so offended that someone would think that she was wrong. Say, oh, okay, then I'm sorry. It wasn't a real apology. No. She was shown in a very bad light, but the bad light was a true light, and she doesn't like it. She doesn't like it.
No.
So when they all decide to take the lunch break, of course Sutton is standing up, like wrapped up in a blanket or something. She cray.
What's her assistant's
Everybody
name?
hates me. Yeah. Everybody hates
Puts on
me.
those slippers.
Yeah, and then Garcelle's like, you know, it's like, basically, I thought they were all going to go after Sutton, but they're going after me.
And now what?
And they did. They did, because she should.
Yeah.
She has caused a lot of trouble, and people are calling her out for it. And I guess that she's just not used to, you know, not being vindicated. I have it on my phone. I do want to read her little temper tantrum. She was so mad at Erica.
But do we want to do that in part 3? We got to go to a part 3.
Let me just finish with this real quick.
Okay.
Garcelle said last night, when she was like, be more interesting. F you, Erica. F you. F you. What? Because I'm not going through a divorce? Because I didn't have criminal activity? That I work? That I'm self-made? I don't have a rich husband? I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth? That's not interesting. F her. So I'm saying Erica really got under her skin. And you know why? Because she was telling the truth about Garcelle. She's uninteresting. And now she's leaving the show. So, bye-bye.
Sad. Go to part 3.
Bye.
Okay, we're back for our third and final part.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a lot of talking.
We sure did.
But
next week, we'll, you know, recap what goes on there, which we'll probably have a lot to talk about. Sutton.
Yeah, because we didn't even get into her.
No, we didn't. And they'll probably bring up Erica.
Yeah.
So that'll probably go on. But next week, Tilly's coming out.
Yep. Still don't know what I think about her.
Yeah, she's eclectic for sure.
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
So, but she didn't own up. I have to say that. She did not own up to the whole when Erica said, like, it was either you or you. You know, that put whole thing in existence about the setup. So they'll probably talk about that. Then Kathy Hilton's coming out.
Oh, Kathy.
Yep. Who is hunky-dory. But let's hope she doesn't throw Sutton into a fit and then Sutton has to leave the stage again.
That did happen last year.
Yeah. Yep. And then we're going to have the amazing comment by Dorit of, you're not the Queen of Sheba. You live on a main road. So we'll see what happens with that.
Okay. What else?
Kyle is going to get talked to about calling PK. She called PK after her conversation with Dorit in Oceanside. What is she doing?
I don't know. I don't think she knows what she's doing.
Well, we'll find out about that. So that'll all be, next week after the reunion. Well, so what do you have on the burner for today?
Well, we're going to wait for Ella to be done. Then I'm going to go home, probably do some laundry, read my book, and then go to work. We'll pick up the kids off the bus and then go to work.
Okay. What book are you reading right now?
I'm reading the Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy. I'm on the 4th book, which is The Goal. And I just got told by a friend that they're making this into, I think, a Prime Video series, like TV series. So I'm happy I'm reading it now and then I'll be able to watch it.
Yeah.
But I read like 28 books since October so far.
You've done a great job with the reading. I'm reading right now The Horsewoman by James Patterson. Just started it. My reading hasn't been really consistent, but I'm going to hopefully switch that around. Read a great book, the Kelly Bishop memoir, The Third Gilmore Girl, because we left that out yesterday. Huge Gilmore Girl fans.
We are the Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, we are.
We think we are.
She's the Rory to my Lorelai. Yeah, and if anybody hasn't picked it up, Lakin's youngest daughter is literally named
a Rory.
Rory Lee. And she thinks she's going to Yale, so that's kind of cute.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Yeah.
But yeah, so what else are you going to do for the day?
I'm going to go home and then I have to school Ella for a few hours this afternoon.
Okay.
And then I'm hoping to enjoy the weather and get outside and get myself moving and start walking. You know, I
Sun's
have
up.
to get healthy now. It's that time. I just got back from Florida. I was in Florida.
I am pale. She is tan.
For almost for a little over 3 weeks. Ella was showing her horse down in Florida, so that was a lovely time. But then I came back to the Arctic tundra.
Yeah, I told her it was cold. I said it's not warm up here, but
so hopefully today I can get outside because I was really moving a lot down there, and that felt so good and healthy. But that's all.
Typical Wednesday. All right. Well, you'll see us around. Make sure you're following us. We have TikTok, obviously. We also have YouTube. It is the same handle as it is here. So it's at Morning Brew, Kiki and Lake. And then it's the same handle for Instagram, except there's an underscore. It's in our bio right now. So if you want to follow us on all things,
please subscribe.
Subscribe,
like
to
our YouTube
comment,
channel,
send us to other people's way, because we're enjoying ourselves so far.
We are. Oh, and I said I wanted to do a mailbag. So if you guys have any questions, like we could do a day where we answer the questions honestly. Anything else?
No, I
No,
think
just follow and subscribe. We're flying by the seat of our pants.
Yeah.
We're enjoying it. We hope you do too.
Yeah. The little banter, talking, all of that. But
okay.
all right, here we go. Cheers out.
And Garoonies.